afternoon already then. Today's gonna be another quick one. I know you guys are probably tired of like seeing Danganranpa. To be honest, I'm kind of getting a little sick of doing Danganranpa, but right now it's kind of what I've been working with. I've been working on like the fan fiction story and all that, so it's just fresh on my mind, and it was easy to make the list. And I want to try to keep consistent uploads. Haven't had enough time to like make a new fresh video, so I went ahead and made a list. I made it while I was in the shower this morning. If that tells you like how long it took me to make it. It wasn't too hard to make because Danganranpa is filled with characters with gray morals, and so some of them actually did kind of deserve their fate. We're gonna be jumping straight into that. I'm not gonna touch any more on like before stuff. I am gonna give like one dishonorable mention though, and the reason that this guy is like here is because technically I cannot include him on this list. He'd never died, but I think that Haji Toa's fate was very deserved, falling into despair and being betrayed by Shirokuma. The only thing that I wish is he would have actually died. Anyways, let's get into the top 10 list. So, bottoming out the list at number 10, we have Hifumi Yamada. Now, the reason that Hifumi Yamada is here on the list is because whereas he did not actually kill anybody, he did assist Celestia Ludenberg with absolute like glee. There was no care for Kiyotaka Ishimaru's life. There was no care for the fact that they was gonna try to throw Yasuhiro Hagakure under the bus. And also what he wasn't thinking about is, everybody gets executed except the killer if you don't get it right. So, and he deserves it in another way simply because he was smart enough to realize had his plan actually worked, it would have resulted in his own death anyway. So that is why Hifumi Yamada is where he's at. One could argue that Celeste would have been more deserving of a spot, but to be fair, Celeste was a lot more likable character, and to be honest, money being the reason that she killed, it just didn't stick well with me. I almost kind of made that part of the story non-canon in my head. We're gonna move on from Hifumi to our number 9 pick, which is Sayaka Mizuno. The reason that Sayaka Mizuno is on this list, and some of you may be wondering, oh, why? She's such a sweet girl. Well, she did kind of deserve what was coming to her because she did in fact try to kill Leon first. Leon was just able to turn the tables on her. Also, the fact that she was fully willing to betray Makoto after P vowed to protect her. I don't know. The lack of loyalty and care for human life just earned her the spot at number 9. She might have been a little bit higher up if not for the fact that it's debatable whether she left the message for Makoto to either solve her death or to help like clear his name. But either way, that's why she ended up at number 9. Not too high up, but she did make it on the list. We're gonna move on to number 8, and this one you guys might kind of, it took me a minute to realize the irony in this, to be honest, but our number 8 pick is Tenko Chabashira, and the reason that she's here is because her death is actually kind of ironic. So the entire time she is spewing nonsense about degenerate males, males suck, males are evil, all that, only to be killed by a male who with no morals, no regret, no reason, and he killed her for a female, which, yeah, I mean, it was a delusion in his head. But I found it extremely ironic that Tenko was killed by a male who was killing for a female. More so, why she deserves a spot on the list is simply because her hatred of men is really, really kind of unjustified. Oh, more so annoying, and also the irony just capped it off with perfection. We're gonna move on to the number 7 pick, which is Nagito Komaeda, and this is where the list starts getting a little bit more like intense, a little bit more real. The reason that Nagito Komaeda is on the list, even though he is one of my favorite characters in the Danganranpa series, is because if you think back to the first trial, he actually was plotting to kill the ultimate imposter himself. It was just he warned Teru about it, and then Teru tried to stop Nagito, which resulted in the ultimate imposter's death simply because of Nagito's luck. Ultimately speaking, you could say that Nagito is the reason that the killing games got kicked off in the first place in the second game. And he's also responsible for the death of one of the series' most beloved characters, Chiaki Nanami, which again, he was trying to do something good, and that's why I love him, but at the same time, it is also why he probably did deserve to die before he caused any more trouble. At our number 6 spot, we have Hayako Seonji. Now, Hayako Seonji is number 6 simply because she was a total, dark spot. There wasn't a whole lot of characters that she was actually nice to, and then there was characters that she was just belligerently mean to. There was never, a nice, interaction with a whole lot of people, besides maybe Mahiru. And given how Mahiru did not live very long in the game, you don't get to see very many good qualities out of Hayako Seonji. And then you kind of go back to the irony thing, same thing with Tenko, but a little bit better, because Hayako Seonji was killed by the person that she used to bully, which is ironic in of itself, but the kicker, the biggest kicker of it, was that Hayako Seonji wasn't even the target. Mikan Sumiki had already killed Iwuki Miyota, and Hayako Seonji discovered it, and so Mikan had to kill her for silence. That was it. So, the fact that Hayako was so mean to her, and that she killed her without much of a, actual cause to kill her besides silencing her, it was just icing on the cake. Beautifully done. That's why Hayako Seonji is at number 6. She might have been a little bit higher up had she been a little bit, I don't know. If she had the profanity of Miyu, but the personality of Hiyoko, and then maybe throw in a couple of the bad qualities of the people that we got above her, yeah, she'd have been higher for sure. But we're going to move on to number 5, which is Kazuo Tengen. Now, the reason that he is at number 5 is not only is he a badly written villain, but he's also a villain. And he helped start the killing game that he died in, which, again, some of these, just the irony in it is enough to make it qualify. But I honestly can't say much more about Kazuo's, because he didn't have much of a role in the series other than being someone who they kind of made you think was going to be a good guy for a second, and then it turned out he was a bad guy, and probably one of the worst guys, because he's a big part of why Ryota was about to brainwash the whole fucking world. So yeah, number 5. moving on to number 4, we have a character that you guys know that like I have total disdain for. If you know like my Danganranpa like videos, I hardly ever have much good to say about this guy, and that is Korokyo Senguji. Now, whereas he would have made it further down, he has one redeeming quality. One. He's very refined and like well spoken, and that's about it. Other than that, he's creepy. His murder was out of malicious. The whole like setup is weird. A whole lot about this guy is just, personally unlikable. And then you just add in the fact that, like, I don't know, you could definitely tell he was gonna kill somebody. I just felt like he deserved it, especially since malicious. That's a big part of, like, do you deserve it, do you not? Because Danganranpa has always been good about, like, Sayaka Mizuno, when she tried to kill Leon, didn't want to do it, just wanted to escape. Leon killing her, that was self-defense. He didn't want to do it, and yeah, he went a little bit overboard on it, but he was, you get lost in the moment with shit like that. Honestly, I would say Mondo Awada probably did have a little malicious, but he had regret afterwards. Celestia Ludenberg, I wouldn't say malicious, just greed. Sakura Ogami killed herself. That definitely wasn't malicious. There was actually technically not a murder that took place in the 5th trial, just a trial. Teru, no malicious. He was trying to save his friends. Peko Yama was more or less trying to stop Fuyukio from doing something that he would regret. Mikan was under, like, technical mind control. Gundam and Nekomaru agreed to duel. There wasn't like malicious, and it was honorable duel. Nagito was just trying to, call out Chiaki. Kaede was trying to stop the mastermind. I could go on and on. I did do the first 2 games, and I really could do the 3rd game all the way through, but basically the long and short of it is, before I get too long-winded, is that he is one of the only characters who killed out of straight malicious in the series, and that to me just earns him a spot at number 4. Now, going on to our top 3, we come to Ruruka Ando. Now, Ruruka Ando is in the top 3 because, let's face it, for anyone who watched the Danganronpa 3 anime, you know that this girl had it coming. She was very cruel to Seiko, and she was a big part of what led to Seiko's death. Her and Sanosuke actually made it their personal mission to, like, try to hunt her down. She betrayed Sanosuke and killed him, and didn't seem to have very much regret about it. She betrayed but didn't kill, but she did try to betray I'm blanking on his name now. Kyosuke Munakata. Like, everything about this girl is manipulative, selfish, just self-centered, and go figure, she does end up getting her comeuppance in the killing game. Although, somehow, they still managed to make me feel kind of sad about it. Like, when she kind of just came to that stop, and then you could tell she was almost like done, and then the next thing you know, she's dead. Somehow I still felt bad about it, but she deserved it. She really did. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have my favorite Danganronpa antagonist, and possibly why I couldn't put her in number 1, because she's my favorite, Junko Enoshima. Now, she is the cause of the Danganronpa 3 animes killing game, the student council killing game, the events of Happy Trigger Havoc, and the events of Goodbye Despair. You could technically even say that she led to the events of V3. She has the most, like, influence, if you count, like, you know, murdering through other people as, you know, like, murder, then Junko Enoshima has one of the highest body counts in the series. If not, like, she might even possibly have a higher body count than Hitler at this point. It was bad, because she destroyed the whole world and plumbed it into despair. There was very, very many people that died, or were mind controlled, or driven into despair. Very many lives were lost. So you might be wondering, who tops this? Who is more evil than the girl who created, and I guess I can't say evil, who is more deserving of death than the girl who created all of this chaos? The girl who ripped it off, Tsumugi Shirogane. I put her at number 1 simply because Junko Enoshima was original, and even though the acts she did were terrible, terrible acts, she, in her own way, had a reason for doing what she did. However, Tsumugi Shirogane was just following in the footsteps of Junko. To me, that puts her more deserving of death, because you could have stopped Junko's, thing, but instead, you decided to take the worst person imaginable's acts and try to continue them, all while being a very boring and badly written antagonist. I am sorry, but I think Tsumugi Shirogane deserved to die more than anyone else in the series. In fact, that is why I almost consider Harmonic Souls more canon than not Goodbye Despair, Killing Harmony. Harmonic Souls is a fan fiction written version of Killing Harmony, which I'm not gonna get too much into, but they do make a couple changes in there. I really like it. If you guys are interested in that sort of thing, I would check it out. There's 8 survivors in the end, so if one of your favorite characters didn't make it out of the 3 survivors that made it the first time, maybe they'll make it in the second version, unless it's gone to, I will spoil that for you, cause fuck, why would gone to make it, right? Anyways, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to get a video out of the way, get one done today. It wasn't the most engaging video I could think of, but it was a quick, easy one. I already had this list kind of planned out. I basically just had to build it from 7 on, because I already had 1 through 7 already mapped out in my head. I was like, alright, so who's filling up my list here? I'm not gonna poke and prod you guys with the like, comment, and subscribe. I used to do that a lot. You guys might be wondering what happened with that. I kind of realized that every YouTuber does it. If you're on YouTube a lot, then you already know what to do. If you like the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and if you don't like the channel, or you're not on YouTube a lot, then, you know, why bother, right? So I'm not going to poke and prod you about it. I am just going to go straight into the outro. I was just letting you know, like, that's why I'm not doing it anymore. I'm Abe, I'm Clark, signing off. Hasta la pasta. See you later, and have a great day.